Magic is math, blood is fuel. According to the logs, faith is just a set of frequency inputs. The harsh glare of the lamp hits this black file and exposes the jagged edges where we began cutting into the bone of the world.
They lied, flat out. The history books are a crime scene. Look at the white line cutting across the black grid, flatlining for 3 centuries until it hits a wall of red ink. In 1650, the Academy gutted the world. They called it science. Hanagraph's records call it a purge. The official story claims magic died of natural causes. The data proves it was a forced eviction. Look at the red spike. It is jagged. It is violent. Exeter and the Sorbonne are not studying ghosts. They are retooling a rejected technology. This is a dormant engine coming back online. The gap between 1650 and 2000 is a total data blackout. The signal did not vanish. Exhibit C shows who was holding the receiver.
Everyone says magic is a fairy tale. The data proves them wrong. This yellowed papyrus isn't a book of spells, it is a firmware patch. The scan shows a jagged red pulse cutting through the Greek ink. The peaks align with the phonetic strings. We call these voces magicae. The PGM records prove they aren't words, they are sonic resonance keys. These frequencies bypass the Broca's area to hit the brain's logic centers like a lead pipe. You don't chant Ablanathan and Alba to please a ghost. You vibrate the bone in your throat to force neuroplasticity. It tunes the biological receiver to external planetary harmonics. The ancients weren't praying, they were overclocking. The software is loaded. Now look at the hardware they used to run it. Open Exhibit D.
Stop praying. It is useless. You are shouting at a wall while the door stays shut. The Iambly logs prove that what you call faith is actually a set of hard-coded signal inputs. Look at Exhibit B, blue glow. This is a circuit map for the ghost in the shell. Look at the stones. See the weeds? We pulled these straight from the dirt at the site. They are not idols, just hardware keys. Each stone has a specific weight to trip a wire in the blue mesh of the human frame. Rocks force the body to hum like a tuning fork. This is sympathetic entanglement. You do not need a priest when you have a wrench. Theurgy is not a belief system. It is hard engineering. The red bars show the signal holds. Wait, the inputs are only the start. Look at Exhibit E.
History lied, science hid. The alchemists weren't hunting gold, they were building light. The neon green glow from the phosphor casts a sick hue across the desk. The lion is acid, pure burn. Look at the right side of the file, where barium sulfate shifts to barium sulfide. While the world thought these men were chasing ghosts, they were actually doping crystals with copper ions to create the first synthetic luminescent material known to man. Lawrence Princey found the paper trail. They used Decamin to lock the truth. The magic stone is just solid-state chemistry hidden in a sketch of a sun-eating cat. But light is only half the secret. Turn the page to Exhibit F.
Forget the incense. This is hardware. The Sigillum Dei Aemeth serves as a hardwired signal filter for a non-local uplink. Everyone calls it magic. The data proves it is math. D was not a sorcerer. He was a pioneer of linguistic cryptography. The bronze disc feels cold in the hand. It has the weight of a lead battery. The green binary behind the seal shows the raw, undecoded packets bleeding through the scrying interface. Enochian is not a holy tongue. It is a high-level programming language. The calls function as precise access codes to trigger specific data bursts from an intelligence that does not occupy our local spacetime. Scrying is not a seance. It is a download. Laycock's analysis confirms the syntax is too complex for human invention. The redacted lines in the confidential report indicate the physical location of the source. We found the signal origin in Exhibit G.
It breaks, minds snap. The system calls it integration, but the paper shows a slaughter. Look at the red ink bleeding into the fibers where starvation meets the total absence of rest. The official record labels this the Abramelin Operation. Mather sold it as a path to superpowers. The data reveals a different truth. It kills you. Total isolation. First, the silence grows teeth and starts to chew on your identity. Then the deprivation hits. No food, no sleep. The handwritten scrawls on this timeline are not notes. They are screams recorded in red ink. Notice the blinding white flare at the finish line. That is the catharsis. The subject does not find an angel. The subject becomes a hollow vessel for whatever the protocol pours back in. The Holy Guardian Angel is the name they give to the new operating system. It grants authority over the repressed brain, but the price is the original self. The body survives, but the occupant is gone. If Exhibit E is the demolition, Exhibit H is the blueprint for the replacement.
Forget the stars. This is a heist. The red ink strikes through your wants to hide the signal. The sigil method uses exhaustion to force a command line past your conscious filters and into the root directory. Look at the paperclip. It holds a lie. The myth claims you are wishing, but the mechanism reveals a hard install. Spare and Carroll documented the exploit. You create the sigil to scramble the packet. You use Gnosis to spike the voltage, then the trash can. You must delete the memory to let the background process run. Conscious thought is a firewall. Doubt is a kill switch. By forgetting the desire, you let the Trojan horse gallop into the subconscious. The red shield icon is not a defense. It is an infection. The adhesive on this tape is dry and brittle. The lightning bolt is a jagged scar on the page. The installation is complete. Now we track where the data is being sent in Exhibit I.
Gods are chemists. They wear white. The scan shows a brain drowning in its own pharmacy. The orange bloom isn't holy fire. It is a massive release of endogenous opioids triggered by a specific expectation. This isn't healing, it's a hijack. The placebo response forces the meat to match the myth. High-intensity rituals override the senses. They tell the brain to ignore the signal and trust the story. The brain hates being wrong, so it floods the pipes with dopamine to fix the gap between what you feel and what you are told to believe. The light from the screen is cold. The paper under the clip is thin. The chemical payload is heavy. The CSR data is clear. We aren't looking at a soul. We are looking at an activated factory. The pipes are open. The data screams. Exhibit J reveals who is pulling the lever on the assembly line.
Telekinesis is a lie. The math screams. Look at the crumpled black sheet. The PER lab spent 3 decades watching random systems fail to stay random. The tape peels. The paper buckles. The dashed line represents the vacuum of pure chance. The solid line shows the intrusion of a human mind. That red mark at the bottom is not a mistake. It is a z-score of -4.36. In a fair universe, that number is impossible. The odds against this shift occurring by luck are 1 in 10 million. According to the records, consciousness acts as an information source. It biases random systems. It forces the wave function to collapse. We are not just observers. We are the bias. If a thought can tilt a machine, it can bend a life. The signal is coming from inside the skull. Open Exhibit K.
Distance is dead. Space is a lie. The red filament proves these 2 points are one single body. According to Harold Wallish, the wizard and target share a fused state where change happens through instant correlation rather than a moving signal. The spooky action tag is a mask. The math is cold. Generalized quantum theory scraps the old need for a wire. The yellow tape peeling from this blackboard marks the spot where the old laws of physics finally broke. Correlation replaces energy. Synchronicity is the gear. If the wizard shifts, the target reacts in the same breath. We are looking at the autopsy of a single organism stretched across a map until it screams. We found the source. The pulse stayed hot. The trail ends at a locked door in Zurich. Pull the file on Exhibit L.
They called it magic. They lied. The data reveals wizardry as a hardwired technology suite disguised by time. The paper is brittle, yellowed by age and damp heat. The rusted teeth of that clip bite into the pulp, holding back decades of suppressed physics. This isn't a grimoire. It is an engineering report on the extended mind. We have mapped the bioacoustics. We have cracked the encrypted chemistry. Macroscopic entanglement is no longer a ghost story. It is a system status. The stamp is fresh. The red ink still smells of vinegar and iron. The verdict is validated. The system is live. But a live system needs a trigger. Exhibit M contains the spark.
This investigation is closed, but the archive remains open. Like this video, share it, follow for more forensic breakdowns, drop your theories in the comments. Full protocols available at jmthomasofficial.com.